because there's like someone singing in the cafe and construction noise, and I was just like, oh my god, this is probably the worst.
So obviously I'm Tee, I work with David on the magazine, and we just thought we'd like to get a model's perspective, because we've had other creatives in the past. We thought it'd be really nice to have a conversation with you and see how you got into modeling.
Amazing.
Good. So how did you start? Like when, let's say way back when you started, who were you with, what agency, were you alone, freelance?
So I was scouted in Blue Water,
Okay.
the shopping centre with, she was kind of like scouting different girls.
Okay.
And she signed me up to Premiere.
Right.
And she sent my pictures in, and I had no idea at the time, but I'd always wanted to do modeling. Like, it was always my dream. Growing up with America's Next Top Model, it was just me binge watching it on repeat. And it was always just something I dreamed of. And then she sent the pictures into Premiere, and they just wanted to see me and schedule an interview. So I was just so excited. That was kind of how it went. And I got signed to them from that. So I was kind of lucky in a sense. Because a lot of people, I know how much like work they have to do to even get spotted by someone.
I feel like it's hard to like break in now to the industry. Like there's castings, like if you get scouted, it's quite it's like a slightly easier process. Not obviously, you know, too easy, but now if you have to go through many agencies, some won't accept you. So it is difficult. So how long have you been modeling for now?
Oh my god, so I'm 23 now, and I got scouted at 14. And I signed my contract at 16.
Okay.
So how long was that? 8 years, 9 years?
8 years,
8 years-ish. So it's been quite a while.
I bet it's been such a journey. Like, it's been great, I bet.
Where
are you currently now? Are you in Mexico?
I'm in Mexico.
Okay.
I kind of did it just before lockdown in the UK.
Oh, lovely.
And it's the only place me and my boyfriend can be together because he's from California.
Okay.
So we kind of have to meet in the middle. And this is probably just the next best spot for us to both see each other.
Oh, lovely. Well, I bet it's lovely spots to take pictures, especially on the beach.
Yes.
It's good Instagram.
Oh my God, I've been living at the beach.
I bet. So are there any like models or creators that you aspire to be like, or you get inspiration from? So like you said earlier, like America's Top Model, like are there models on there that you could like, I want to be like her, especially at such a young age?
Oh, hard question. I'm trying to think who I was inspired to be when I was a young age. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, now, I don't know if you know Romy, I don't know how to say her last name, Strigis.
Okay, yeah, I think I know who you mean.
She does like all these YouTube videos. She's super down to earth, and she's really humble, and she's just so nice. Like I love her, and all her pictures that she posts, and she's just had a baby now.
Oh wow.
And the fact that she's become a model and become so successful, and then still managed to like have a family, and just everything about her I love. Kelly Gale, Emily Ratajkowski. I love how she is for like feminine rights, and I'm trying to think who else. There's so many models out there. Bella Hadid, for her, I love her style. Like she's everything style wise I'd love to be.
It's sleek, isn't it? Like her style, like, I love that. I wish I could dress myself like that.
I know, me too. Me too. She could pull off everything.
I know. I think you'd probably put her in a bin bag and she'd look fabulous. Like,
oh my. True.
Do you have any like preferences when shooting? Do you like being involved in that kind of creative direction, or would you prefer, you know, someone else do that for you?
So when I do shoot, I like to do my own thing.
Okay.
I like to have a mood board to give me the vibe of like what the photographer's looking for, what the shoot wants, what the client wants. And then if there's something that I haven't done, or there's something that they'd like a pose or something, then feel free to just tell me what you'd like, because I feel like models work the best when they can do their own thing, and they're not stiff with their poses. Because if someone isn't happy with something, I feel like I would be quite like stiff, and then there's not much creative movement.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah, I feel like it might flow slightly better when you've got your kind of own ideas. So I feel like when you're told, sometimes it can be a bit, you're not that into it. If you're really into that kind of movement,
Yeah.
then you're going to flow a lot easier. The picture's going to turn out much better as well, I think, personally. I mean, I'm a makeup artist and I can see that on shoots. Like, you just see like instantly when someone connects. So like going off the first image, so that was the kind of beauty shoot you did with the pink. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Like, what was, like, how did you find that shoot? And with the creators you worked with, like, what did you like that they did? And, you know, how old is that picture? Is it recently new? Is it old work?
So that was a couple of years ago. It was for a jewelry company called Ashley Clark.
Okay.
And that was in a studio in London, and they were really nice. It was really like close up beauty work.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an all-day shoot. It was a long process.
Yeah.
And I think it took a while to get the lighting and everything right, as it always does. But eventually, we kind of just flowed, and we got really good shots of the team.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really fun shoot to do. I love doing like beauty work because it's rare to get like good beauty photographers, and then sometimes to get the retouching on top of it. Retouching can honestly ruin a shoot completely. If you like, you can have great makeup artists, you can have great photography, and then the retoucher can just completely do their own thing and mess up the pictures. So I'm glad it went amazing, and I loved the pictures.
Do you prefer, in terms of retouching, would you prefer your skin to be completely airbrushed, or would you like to have some texture and, you know, a couple of blemishes in there? What is your kind of preference?
I love texture. I hate being airbrushed completely. I hate the look. It just doesn't look natural. Even blemishes. I mean, if there's a big spot somewhere, I would prefer it to be edited out. I feel like everyone would.
Exactly.
But I don't mind like beauty spots, or I don't mind like my pores here. I like that look. So that I'm completely fine with. And I hate when someone changes features of someone, like enlarging their lips. A lot of photographers have started doing that now, and like changing the features of someone's face. I think that's kind of a dangerous route now in the modeling industry.
I don't know if you've seen like, what's your kind of opinion on, there's like images where models' legs have been kind of elongated so they look really tall and slim. Like, what is your kind of view on that?
I think if you've done it in an angle where you can do that with an angle like yourself, like if you just shoot from low, you can get that look naturally. If you are faking it and like not liquefying, is that the word? Liquefying the legs to make them slimmer. Then I think that is an issue.
Because I mean, it's becoming the trend at the minute, that kind of elongating someone's legs, and it's kind of, it makes their head, the actual model's head, look like a pea compared to their legs, because they're like so far out, because they basically, in Photoshop, they'll kind of rotate it so the image is flat like that, but they'll rotate it like that so the legs come across more, so that's why I mean, a lot of models have been very into that, and a lot of photographers, I know it's kind of a trend, but I mean, no, it's personal preference. If you weren't happy with that, then obviously then you just say, but no, I really like that first image. I love the beauty work. It's very, very, I don't think it's like too over the top. The makeup's like, you know, it's glam but not over. You're not caked with makeup, and like I said, the retouching is really beautiful on that, so credits to everyone that was involved to that shoot.
Thank you.
So the second shoot was more minimalistic, which I love. So it was this one, can you see? Now I love that. What tell me about that shoot?
So that was with Sylvia. I think she's a Polish photographer in London. And that was arranged by my agency. It was actually a test shoot. So it was super simple. It was a couple of hours. And she had all the clothing. So she did the styling. She did my hair and makeup.
Oh, lovely.
And it was just really minimal. Like, I think I just had foundation and a bit of concealer on. And I think we took about 6 shots. And it was to update my portfolio. But I loved how minimalistic it was, and like how like everything, like you could see all my features in such a clear way that I think they were really good. Not Polaroid images, what are they? Just natural, like
good portrait, isn't it? Really, like
for my portfolio, they were great images for my portfolio.
I like the simplicity of it. It's, you know, it's your neutral colors, your nice brown background, and the simplicity in itself is just a lovely image. I think that you know, all models like that in their portfolio, they should have that. And I know agencies really pride themselves on having those portrait kind of simplistic images. But all of them, it was lovely.
Because I normally my like look, or how they market me, is commercial modeling.
Okay.
Commercial editorial. I wouldn't do runway because of my height.
Right.
I'm 5'6.5".
Oh, right. Okay. So obviously picture 3 is this one, a little reminder, you at the beach.
Oh yes.
That's a lovely shot. I mean, it was David's favourite out of all 4. Just so relaxed, so like model worthy. Yeah. And just, you know, everyone wants to be at the beach right now.
Oh my god, thank you.
Which is so nice. So what was your inspiration for that kind of shot? Like, obviously you place yourself quite carefully on that tree, and tell me about it.
So that was with Sadowska. Her name's Anita Sadowska. She's an amazing photographer. We've followed each other for a while, and we just never got around to shooting.
Yeah.
And we both happened to be in Tulum at the time.
Right.
And she does a lot of beach. She shoots women of all shapes and sizes. So she does like a lot of YouTube stuff too. So what I loved about her was that she goes into the shoot and she just has that vision. Like she already knows what she wants.
Right.
And she already has her videos, like her camera already there placed for the video. For the, oh my god, I can't even talk, the YouTube video that she does.
Yeah.
Kind of like a tutorial on how she shoots for like beach and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And we just did a mix of different outfits, and I feel like I've done so much shooting that I kind of just know what to do. I don't know, it kind of just flows. Eventually you just get the hang of it. And as long as you like pop a hip out every now and again, and her tip is, her like top tip that she always says for beach, and I've taken it, is to oil up every part of your body before you shoot. And I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. Like you literally just come out bronze, and like the pictures just look like your body's just highlighting all the best spots.
Yeah.
So that was a good shoot. I feel like she did that really well.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. Like, it was a lovely picture, and it just kind of, like, especially in Mexico with that kind of exotic vibe, like you've got beautiful curly hair, like it's just a more of like a vision, that picture. It was really lovely. And I get what you mean about the oiling, because you can see the shimmer on your legs, like it just picks up and highlights your body. And I mean, that's a great tip. I mean, if more people knew that, then they might come out of these pictures. What are like your top products that you'd use on like a shoot?
Is this for beach or is this for every day?
Let's go with beach, seeing as that's the picture.
Beach. So oil now, I feel like that is a must.
Yeah.
For my hair, because it's really curly, I have to use a lot of either some sort of curl serum, just to kind of tone it down, because otherwise it would just be some frizzy
humidity.
And for the beach, it's hard to put like too much makeup on, because you're literally just as you know, if you're a makeup artist, models are just literally what's the word, sweating everywhere. And I have really bad upper lip sweat, so literally just pouring everywhere. So probably a good matte foundation, or like a good concealer. I think just something simple. I think that's all you need. And as long as you look like that glowy look, the tan or a tinted moisturizer, I feel like you'd look great anyway, especially when you're in the sun.
No, I agree. I think all of those products sound spot on, really. I mean, from a makeup's point of view, like they say, you minimal products, because they come out pores, everything. Like it's not a pretty picture, is it? When you've got loads of makeup on, you sweat it off. So yeah, I would have done probably more of a tinted moisturizer or something that's hydrating with a lot of SPF in, obviously, to make sure you don't damage.
That sounds good.
Yeah, and so we'll move on to the last picture, and then this kind of last half we'll just have a chat about whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
So the final picture was this one.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, first off, like, completely fine. Are you completely fine with doing kind of exposed photos, or has that taken time to work up to that? Now being 23, obviously back when you signed as a model, you couldn't really do that anyway prior to being 18. But did you feel confident when you were 18 to do more shots like that, or is it just recently?
So when I was 18, I don't know if this is for all models, but it's kind of in the sense that you have to be nude to get big as a model. I don't know why. That was my mindset. I thought that if you did nudity, you would get far, and that is completely, maybe in some cases, but for me, as soon as I turned 18, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this, and it will change my career. And oh my god, it was probably one of the worst things I possibly did.
Right.
I think I pushed myself too soon.
Yeah.
And maybe the photographer was dodgy. That you have to get a good vibe from a photographer, and whether or not you want to do that, because it can go either way. Like, you can sometimes get pictures back that you're not comfortable with. Sometimes they don't want to send you the pictures.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what are you using the pictures for? I know a lot of models that they've shot nude and then they've wanted it just to be like, they want to see how they like it before it goes everywhere and publish it to a magazine.
Yeah.
Before she even wanted to see if she liked the pictures. And that was kind of, that wasn't a nice thing to do. Even, I feel like, I don't know if you've heard about the ship model management list. No. There was a blacklist of photographers.
Right.
It's this Instagram page who are like all for models. It's like an anonymous page, and they did a list of photographers that are blacklisted. Right. And I normally check the list, and if a photographer that I want to work with is on the list, I kind of use that as, okay, he's a like dodgy, let me not shoot with him. But you have to, I feel like you just have to get a vibe if you want to shoot it or not. Like, normally I'll do a shoot, and if it's like a lingerie shoot, and if I like him, I might be like, oh, how about we do some like topless but like hidden. But I would never just fully stand with my boobs out or anything. It would always be covered up. I don't like that look at all. So yeah, I feel like you have to be really picky and choosy with who you do nude shoots with.
No, definitely. Like, what would be your advice to, say, upcoming models that were 18 and were in that kind of same position that you were in? What would you advise them on?
Maybe definitely tell your agency. I feel like your agency are a good, like, they have good knowledge on whether or not that person's trustworthy, and then you have a third person knowing that you're going to be doing something like that, so you're not just on your own. And maybe getting a third person in, like a makeup artist or someone to overview the shoot, so it's just not you and the photographer alone, because that can also turn into something else. So you have like confirmation that someone was actually there. And doing what you feel comfortable with. Like, don't do what the photographer says. Like, if you're doing that and you're so exposed as it is, it's really easy to just do what he says. Or if he says take off your underwear too, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm already feeling uncomfortable if my boobs are out. It's a hard, like, you have to be really sure that you want to do that, and you have to make sure the photographer is really professional, and you know you're going to get good pictures, because it's so easy to make a photo shoot that's nude look like a photo shoot for page 3. So that you have to be really careful with.
Okay, that was a great answer.
Thank you.
So in terms of agencies, obviously you joined like when you were younger, and obviously you've worked your way up now, and you've got agencies like from far around. What agencies are you currently with, like your mother agency and then your other ones?
So my mother agency is Premier. I got signed to Love Management in Scandinavia.
Okay.
And I was doing a lot of shoots in Europe at the time. And I just got with Urban in Milan. I haven't actually managed to go there yet because of lockdown.
Yeah.
I just signed before lockdown, so that was kind of a bit of a bummer. And Freedom in LA, who I'm trying to just get a visa with right now.
Right.
So that eventually I can go over there and work, because obviously my boyfriend's from California, so
of course,
it's kind of the dream to just go out there and be based there.
Yeah. So where were you like from originally, like in the UK? Were you London or were you up north?
So I was born in Scotland.
Okay.
My mum is Indian and my dad is Scottish.
Okay.
And I think straight away we moved to London. My dad still lives in Scotland now. My mum lives in London.
Oh, nice. You can't see them.
Yeah.
You can. Obviously not with COVID, but
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it'll have like a nice change of scenery, like going to LA or California, and then being able to see your parents over here. Like you'll have like a really kind of time away from modelling, and you'll be able to model over here as well. So you have lots of opportunities. Are your parents really supportive of your modelling career?
Yeah, my mum actually tried to be a model when she was younger, but she's we're from a really strict Indian, well, she was from a really strict Indian upbringing. Okay. And it was kind of looked down upon as like not being a proper. So she kind of never got to do it. And I think she was so honored that I was able to. And I think that she's really happy that I was able to do it. It's kind of like I've done doing it for her in a sense.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
That was really nice. Yeah. And my dad has always been supportive. He'd be supportive if I did anything. So
oh, that's good.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important to have that strong family network when you're modeling, especially like you say, when you've done shoots or you're doing shoots that are potentially more exposed, to have that family network to fall back on and support you. Because, like you said, it could go wrong. You might not get, images back, or, they might publish them somewhere that you don't want to be published. So having that to fall back, I think, is really important. Would you say that like prior to when you were 18, was your mum quite involved in what you were modelling as well? Because you were under 18, you needed a parental advice, or was it more your agency that did that on their behalf?
So when I first started around 14, I would have to do like test shoots to get my portfolio going.
Yeah.
And she would come to the test shoots, and that was quite funny because she was, oh my God, it was so awkward having my mum there on set and asking all the questions and trying to get involved in everything. And I was just, oh my God. And then my first job, I think I was 16, and my first job was for ASOS. And oh my God, that for me was like a dream. I was like, oh my God, I bought my prom dress from ASOS. Like, I've made it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like when you're at that age and you think that you like everything is, I'm trying to think of the word, like when you're 16, you feel like you've made that, like you've done it, like you're where you are as a model. And I would never in my life think that that's like how happy I would be for that. Like there's always something else that I want now, and there's always the next big thing.
Exactly.
Which I feel like that's quite a sad thing. I feel like when you've done something successful that you're proud of, I feel like you're never fully happy with it.
Yeah.
Like you always want the next big thing and then the next big thing, and you should really just sit down and think about, oh my God, I actually did that. Like oh my God, that is a good achievement. Yeah.
No, I get that. I mean, ASOS is big though, for like when you first kind of
that was amazing. It was really exciting.
How was the experience? Did you find it? Like, was it really
it was quite intimidating because there were so many good models, successful models there, and I was just young, and I was just so like, oh my God, what do I do? I didn't know how to pose.
Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't know you had to do makeup and you had to do detail shots, and you had to look this way, and you had to it was just so much going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything, but like looking back at the pictures now, I look so stiff. I'm literally just looking straight into the camera, and my hair was so long down to my waist.
Oh wow.
But it was a really fun opportunity. I think I did that for a few years. So it was great, like really good experience. And you learn everything. So from that, I was able to do all like e-commerce perfectly because I learned from one of the best.
Yeah, because it's quite fast paced, isn't it? E-com kind of work. Like it's a very kind of quick movement. You kind of like as kind of walking in a sense when you're looking at the camera, like you just keep moving.
It's just robotic, yeah. Like it just comes to you eventually. Like you just like have your own thing, you're zoning out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually will do a test shoot after doing ecom for so long, and the photographer's like, oh my god, you're doing so much like e-commerce poses. So for a commercial model, it's hard to differentiate from doing that type of modeling to doing editorial modeling. And that is another thing that you have to learn as a model, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. So how many, like, would you say test shoots would you do each month roughly? Like obviously COVID's made it a bit
I'm
harder.
not working, if I'm not working, I would like to do at least once every 2 weeks. That would be good, but it depends on how much you're working. Sometimes I've not been able to do a test shoot for 6 months because work's been that busy, and then your days off you just want to rest because you've been like, you could be traveling and working at the same time.
Of course,
as long as you keep getting updates, and sometimes even on shoots you can get good images that you can use for your portfolio. As long as you're doing test shoots every month, or every 6 months even, I feel like that's quite good. Every 3 months maybe. 6 months is quite long.
Yeah, I think then you get like your portfolio gets kind of refreshed, obviously from your paid work anyway. Also having that test work, like it helps both of you out, like the photographer and the model, and say the MUA, like it just helps everyone. But like, what would you say, and obviously ASOS was like a big thing for you like when you were younger, what would you say your biggest achievement up until today? Like, what would you say that is? Has there been anything recently or in the works that you can't really release yet? Or
there's a few things. A couple of maybe it was 2 years ago, I did a commercial for it's a company called Namshi. They're based in Dubai, but it was put on the Burj Khalifa.
wow.
So it was the biggest, obviously tallest building in the world. And that was one of my biggest achievements. I was shocked that I'd never seen myself in such like a big building. So that was big. Obviously doing anything print work, like being in magazines. I've been in like Elle, Cosmopolitan, Harrods. There's been a lot of good magazine opportunities, and I think seeing yourself in print is like a different feeling. Like you're never going to get over seeing yourself in a magazine and being able to buy the copy, and like I have like a stack of my magazines at home that's put on a little, like I'd love to show it to my kids or something one day. That would be amazing.
It's like memorabilia, isn't it, when you have them actually in physical form. Obviously images in your portfolio are great, but actual physical copies, like they will last for a long time. Serve them, and like you say, you can share it to like your children in like so many years time. But no, that is amazing. I mean, Dubai is one of my favorite places to go. Like me and my family go all the time, so next time I go and you're going to be on there again, let me know and I'll watch out for you. And that is an amazing achievement. Like you should be very proud. What's another one? Give me one more that you think's really big.
I don't know if this is. It was big for me. I don't know how big it is in the fashion industry.
Like, think about no one else, just you.
Oh my god, it's kind of cringy to say, but I absolutely love Drake. Like love Drake. And my agency emailed me one day and they were like, oh, we have a music video for you. I don't know if it's your thing to shoot for it. And I was like, oh my god, like what is it for? And they were like, oh, we can't really say, but it's a Nicki Minaj and Drake music video. They're coming to London. And I was like, oh my god, yes, this would be my absolute dream. And it was super like hidden, like I wasn't allowed to tell anyone, and I had to sign loads of forms, and then eventually I did it, and it was shot in the box in Soho. And oh my god, that even if I was in it for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and that for me was one of my highlights. Like I would never forget it. I felt so, it felt unreal. Like I never could imagine that feeling again. Like it wasn't really I wouldn't say it was like a modeling job.
No, but you were still in it and it was you.
It was still a job. It was still a job. So that I would say was a big one.
That is huge. I mean, I can't believe you thought that wasn't that big. I mean, that is.
Well, I know. I feel like because I like I said, when you think it's big and then a few years later you're like, oh, actually, is that even a big one? Like I could probably do something better. But It was a good one.
No, definitely. That's a great one to have behind you. Like, oh yeah, Drake.
Well, I know.
So he'd be like, oh my God, he'd be gobsmacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like that's just an amazing achievement, even to be in a video. Like, it's not like you're saying, since modeling, it's more still putting yourself out there. People will see that video, and you never know what that could possibly lead you to, potential castings. But like, when you're on a shoot, do you kind of prefer music, or are you the kind of person that prefers kind of more kind of silence? Like, what is your kind of vibe? What do you prefer?
Definitely music. Definitely music. I feel like it helps you like vibe out. You kind of zone out anyway. So like having a good beat on or something, just to even sing along to is nice.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of photographers or a lot of the team never play the music that I like. I like R&B and hip hop mainly.
Right.
So a lot of them might play like pop or like mainstream pop.
Yeah.
And I've heard it like 10 million times because I've been working. So that I feel like models kind of just zone out anyway, because not all the time their music's going to be their preference.
No.
And the worst is like at 10 a.m. and someone's playing like opera or something. And you're just snoozing away anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm in the makeup artist chair, like trying to get ready for the day, drinking my coffee and falling asleep. So it's important to have a good vibe on set, a good like music. But yeah, it is important to have music on set.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely no silence. I'd rather anything but silence.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well now with TikTok becoming quite like a big platform, I swear all of the top chart songs are on there now. Every time
oh my God, yes.
Like, oh, I know this from TikTok.
I've been singing TikTok songs like all day. I'll be singing everything, all the trends, all the little dances. I've been doing them everywhere.
Yeah, and you just,
some people don't even know what the hell I'm doing, and they're like, Sasha.
Yeah. Oh God, it's such a big thing now. Like, have you tried any TikTok, or is that just not your thing?
I'm definitely trying it. I've done a few videos.
Okay.
I'm no professional. I'm absolutely terrible at editing the videos. I don't know how people do the transitions.
No.
Or anything. So I feel like if someone taught me, I would be really good. But I'm slowly getting there. I feel like I'm getting the hang of things. But I use it for fun. I'm not using it professionally yet. No. Definitely not.
No.
But people are so creative on the app. Like, I have no idea how some of them even think of those ideas to do.
Yeah. I mean, I've just been doing kind of my own stuff, like just behind the scenes. But even that, like, I struggle. I just can't really edit. I'm like auto sync, like, help me out, TikTok. But
and the amount of times I've accidentally deleted the whole video, and I've never done that. I've put restart video or something, and I haven't saved. Like, you can't save like individual clips.
No.
Like, you have to restart it or something. Oh my God, it's been a nightmare.
Oh, it's so hard. And it's just, I watch other people's and I think, oh, they've like, it's blown up. Like, I want to do this. And then I do it, and I'm trying to edit this video, and I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. I really don't. I've had enough. It's difficult. But I think it's one of those platforms that, is really getting people out there, and you've got to catch up with the kind of trends. So like, as a model as well, I'm sure it's quite important to be on those trends, and using Instagram to the best possible tool that you can, etc. So you
have to be on it.
Yeah, knowing the trends is very important. But I've just thought of a really good question to ask you. Like, I thought, right, so what is your typical morning routine prior to a shoot?
Ooh, okay. I would love to say I'm that girl that would make a smoothie and do yoga at 6 a.m. I'm definitely not. I would probably wake up. I need a coffee. So whether it's Starbucks or me making my own, I have to have a coffee.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to make my own breakfast, like, especially getting up in the morning. So I'd probably get it on the way to work. Pret a manger, perfect. Coffee, breakfast, everything to go.
Yeah.
Eat it on set. Makeup artist probably hates me because I'm ruining the makeup, but it's all good.
Yeah.
And just minimal makeup. Oh, if I'm doing a job, then I would probably just have a moisturizer on.
Yeah.
And have my hair probably just I wash it the night before.
Yeah.
And I would probably just put a leave-in conditioner or just a curl enhancer or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it. Just simple for the day. If it's gonna be a cold studio, if I'm shooting location, definitely warm clothes. That's the worst, being on set and you're freezing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and maybe some water to go. So I'm hydrated. But yeah, that's literally it. Super simple.
Okay, so take me through kind of, if you were shooting for the whole day, would you, so obviously you had your morning kind of routine, like you eat when you get there. Are you the type of model that would not eat literally until they'd finished because they're on, like, you know, on set, or would you eat something in between where you can? Because I know it's a bit of controversy between this. I know a lot of models don't want to because they want to be bloated or whatever, or there are some that will eat because they get hangry.
Definitely hangry. I would 100% eat. Lunch, I feel like, is always required. I've never had a job that hasn't had lunch. I think if a job is not providing you lunch, then there's something dodgy going on.
Yeah.
Because you should be required to have lunch. So if I would always shoot until they're ready to have lunch. So normally it would be around 1, sometimes 2, depending. So 1 o'clock would be perfect. And then snacks, maybe like a fruit, nuts. And there's always someone like there to help you with coffees or teas, which is always perfect. And yeah, that would be it.
Coffee gets you through the day.
But coffee's my best friend. That's all I need, literally.
Yeah, literally, I didn't start drinking coffee, and I was more of a tea person until about maybe 4 months ago. And I've started having like Pret a Manger, like the iced latte with a bit of caramel. And
oh my God, that's perfect.
Yeah,
literally perfect.
Literally, I've been getting delivery. It's so bad because it's in the city centre and I live in Didsbury, so it's not far. But I've just been like, delivery. I just keep getting it.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
I've been doing the same. Uber Eats everywhere. In Mexico, they actually have them half off sometimes. So I've been like, oh my God, saving them and then putting them in my fridge for like the next day. I've got a bad addiction.
Oh, no, that sounds so good though. God, I can imagine how lovely that is to wake up and have one in your fridge. So as well, like, what's your kind of plan for modeling? Like, where would you see yourself in, like, say 3 years? Like, what would you like to be doing in the next 3 years? Where would you like to be based? Which I know you said about moving. Obviously, that might be in the answer, but tell me about it.
I love London.
Okay.
Like, London is a great market. It's got so many different jobs. Like, it's completely diverse, like diverse models and diverse work. Like, you can do runway, you can do editorials, you can do commercials.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you've done it for a certain amount of time, you kind of like, like, it's just kind of a small like market. Like, like the different models, the agencies, like you've worked with some of the same photographers.
Yeah.
So I feel like now I'd love to go to America. I feel like that's my next market that I would love to take on.
Yeah.
And that's like a market that there's unique jobs there. Like, all the celebrities are there. Like, when I was there last time, I would get castings for like Fenty, and I was getting castings for like Kim Kardashian, and you wouldn't get that necessarily in London because they're all based over there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily there has to be celebrities, it doesn't at all, but even like car commercials and like perfume adverts and all those big things are shot over there, and not necessarily ever in London unless they're coming over for something. They're never really based in the UK.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be like something I'd love to do and be based out there, and commercials and all of the adverts and stuff I'd love to do.
Yeah. So you feel like
Miami even.
Living in America will definitely open a lot more doors for you in terms of your career. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and even
that's right. There we go.
Even what was I gonna say? Sorry, acting. There's a lot of like acting out there, and a lot of models go into the acting industry because when you get a certain age of modeling, obviously your looks are going to fade, sadly. Sad that is to say. It is a small market. So I feel like a lot of models go into acting, and that opens up more doors for them too.
Right.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. So I feel like that is also good for America.
Yeah.
But it is obviously a really competitive industry, but so is modeling.
Yeah. But definitely, I think America is obviously like quite a lot bigger as well. So I mean, there is a lot more jobs out there. But like you say, competition is also like that. But I feel like because you've established yourself already and you've got, you know, quite a few agencies, you're definitely on the right direction to be getting noticed out there. And especially if you've been out there for a little bit anyway, and you're now in Mexico, like you're not far, are you? And I think you've got the ambition, and that will take you forward. Like there's nothing more pleasing to jobs, is it, when you're that kind of persistent and you want to work. So I can imagine you being like in like a perfume advert, because it would be so cool. Like I can imagine like the day would be amazing.
Thank you. There's one thing that I haven't done yet though. I forgot to tell you before, but my ultimate dream would be to, I can't believe I've not done it yet, but the underground tube.
Oh yeah.
You know, the little billboards that are on the underground, like for different adverts and stuff. I've always wanted to be on one of those adverts, and I would just stand next to the tube all day, just looking at the advert, like walking to work and like going past the adverts, and I'm always being able to like spot someone, like, oh my god, it's my friend, or someone I know. I've always wanted to just see myself on one of those boards, and I feel like that would also be another highlight.
That would be good. I mean, that and like being on like a billboard in like America.
Sorry, I don't know if my Wi-Fi is really bad right now.
Oh, that's all right. I can see you. You're all good. I think it's all right now.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, like being on a tube advertisement would be amazing. But also, if you're going towards more America, like a billboard, can you imagine like the moving pictures?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
I feel like because it's like my home, I've always just wanted to, that's the one thing I need to do before I feel like I've successfully done London.
Yeah, then it's finished then. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually from the southeast, so I'm literally an hour away from London. So
where are you? Sorry, did say Didsbury?
Well, I'm at uni, but I'm from Kent originally. Like I'm going back in May. But yeah, I love going on the tube and like seeing all the advertisements. Like as a makeup artist, I'd really like to be like, I did the makeup on that person on the billboard or like on the tube. Like, that would be like a dream, really. But have you got any advice for, say, models or even myself, because I want to join an agency? What would you be kind of your top tips on how to kind of, what would you show them at a casting? What would you do to get them to notice you, that kind of stuff?
So definitely I'd say a lot of like young girls get like, they feel like they need to get like the best pictures for an agency, and they pay like ridiculous amounts of money. There's so many different dodgy companies that will rip you off completely, and they charge you. I know someone that paid $2,000 to get professional pictures done.
Yeah.
And it was literally, agencies don't need that. They want to just see clear pictures of you.
Yeah.
So a front, side, back, you don't really need to, but a 360 picture of you, full length, cropped, and a close up.
Yeah.
And if you just sent that into the agency, or if you did a walk-in, that is kind of all you need. Really minimal makeup. They want to see you at your natural state, everything natural nails. Black would probably be best. Black jeans, like anything skinny, just to show your full form and your figure, and a good pair of black heels just to elongate your body.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Just be yourself, really. And never give up, because just because one agency might not like you, someone else might. Like that is another thing. Like not everyone is gonna like you for you. So as long as you just keep that motivation and just keep trying, that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. Do you think that the modeling industry has become kind of more inclusive to all shapes, sizes, genders, etc., would you say? Or?
I think so. I feel like they could possibly do more of that. Like, I feel like they're slowly doing it, like compared to how it was years ago, where you had to be literally size 0, size 4, or whatever it was, and your proportions had to be absolutely tiny.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's definitely become like better with that, even in the sense of me, like being 5'6". My agency said to me when I first started, they they told my like the booker that was joining me, that they only wanted to see me if I was 5'9". And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to model because I'm only 5'6", 5'6.5", 5'7", and all agencies kind of pretend you're a little bit taller than that anyway. But I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it. But they actually liked me enough that they were happy to take me on regardless of the height. So I feel like that is another thing. They're taking on like a lot of models with their height, and now a lot of like curvy girls are like coming into the markets too, which is great. Like I feel like that is always needed.
I think that's right. I mean, it's in the right direction. I remember when I was younger, thinking that, you know, I'm like 5, probably 1 or 2 at a push, to be honest with you. Like, I wish I was taller, but I'm just not. But I used to think, no, models had to be like really tall. And my friend, like, she wanted to model, and she was like the perfect height. She was like 5'9", and I was thinking like, oh, like, I wonder if like petite models, like what size are like petite? But now they seem to be getting a lot more petite models, and I think
they're definitely,
because it's hard to kind of not take someone on because of their size, like whether that is width or length. I think that it's much better to have everyone. And it's like now, even in the makeup world, if a brand doesn't have the correct shade range, they can be absolutely ridiculed.
Oh my God, that is
rightly so. I mean, it's a very controversial subject, but I completely agree that everyone should have their shade in whatever, and it should be the exact same in the modeling world, whatever shape.
I agree.
100%
agree.
It's good from a model's perspective that you think it's also changing, because obviously I might see it differently to what you see, because you're actually in the modeling industry, whereas I'm kind of an aspect that looks in on it rather than being inside.
I mean, I hope it is changing. Like, I feel like it's changing. I feel like it's not changing fast enough. But I feel like people are more open to the idea, and there are agencies that cater for specific girls or specific heights, and so I feel like that is, at least that's something. But I'm glad it's kind of slowly changing.
Yeah, definitely. So what are your plans for when you can actually travel? Will you be going straight to America, or will you be coming back to London to see family?
Oh, so I've booked here for another month, and I have to go back because I need to get the vaccine, which I feel like I 100% need to do.
Yeah.
And I need to just see my family. I've not seen them since, I think it's been since August now, last year.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while. So I do need to come back and touch base with everyone. But I feel I'm going to try and sort out my visa as fast as I can, because of the lockdown has played a toll on the embassies opening up, and whether or not you want anyone coming into the US.
Yeah.
But as soon as I can, I'm 100% gonna head off.
Yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So in terms of like we're probably nearly at the end, but in terms of like your mother agency, like in the UK, do you touch base with them quite a lot, or like any modeling jobs, do you have to go through them still? Like, I'm not really sure how it kind of works when you're with multiple agencies. If you kind of explain it roughly.
So the mother agency gets you all like the majority of your jobs. They help you sign with agencies, they place you around the world, they help you with all your contracts. They always push for your best rate, so I never have to talk about rates with anyone else. Like all the awkward parts of the job, and having to discuss like, okay, how much is this? And I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Can you see me?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. So they kind of help me with all of that, and kind of like finding my castings and stuff. That's always been really important. I don't have to look for anything. I kind of just get the details and go. What is hard is that everything's last minute, as you probably know. You kind of get it last minute. Sometimes I've even had it on the day, and I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do everything mainly. What was I saying? Mother agency. What was it? Sorry, what was the question again that you said before that?
In terms of like touching base with agencies, do you talk to them all the time, or do you talk to the other agencies that you're signed with?
So you mainly talk to like my mother, Premier, I would mainly talk to them about everything. And they kind of like your base, like your guidance. So they would tell you if you think they should contact them, or if you should contact this agency, and they would mainly do everything. Like every concern you have, you can voice it to them. That should be like your safe place.
So in terms of like test shoots, do you have to go through your agency, or would you do that off your own back? Because I know there's a bit of, some models don't want to use their agency, and it's like, oh, like, do I do the test shoot? Do I not? So what's your
I think my agency's been really good with it. Like I can normally message a photographer and I can kind of sort everything out. The only thing I would do is I'd go back to Premier and just say, am I free on this day? Because the last thing I want to do is double book.
Yeah,
I might have something on and then I've already messaged the photographer and nothing. So that's really unfair.
Yeah.
So I would normally ask the photographer to get in touch with my agency just so that they can get the date, not so much as like getting their approval.
Yeah.
But just freeing up the date so that we can both shoot together without any like disturbances or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
But most agencies are quite good with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's the occasional, isn't it? It's quite hard to test their models, which rightly so. I mean, it's their, you know, their agency, their models. But it was just interesting to know how you felt your experience has been with testing. Like I know of people that have had kind of issues by, you know, the gatekeeper, you kind of call it, like the agency, they won't let you test, or they won't let you test with a certain model, which is difficult sometimes, because you just want to shoot with that person and they might be up for it, but their agency might be like, no. I
feel like as long as it's a good photographer, like I can understand why an agency might not see them as a good photographer. They don't want anything bad of you to get published, so they might be like, we don't want you to shoot with him because we want to see you in the best light. But as if you're shooting with good people, then I feel like you're both getting the benefits.
I think it's harder when you're first starting out as well, and you're trying to test with as many people as you can to kind of that portfolio, and it's just getting the right people. And you know, I love working with models, photographers, because you get to know people that you want to work with on regular occasions. Models that are always up front, models that you can kind of rely on. But it's a lot harder, I think, with shooting with models like yourself, because like, not really, because you said about booking it in a day, but if a model got a test shoot booked in, but then she got a paid shoot, like obviously she's going to take the paid shoot, so it's like, after that is a hard one. Conversation, and it's like, it's actually like when you go with rates and stuff, like you just agency deal with it. Like it's so difficult. That
is something that is hard. But even like I feel like time, like it's a lot of your time to like take out of the day. And sometimes you might not even get the pictures back. There's been times where I've done a test shoot, I haven't got the pictures back.
Oh no.
And you're just like, okay, I've gone out of my way to do that shoot and I haven't even got the pictures back, or it's a hard one. And sometimes they might have really retouched the pictures. I've had that before, where they've airbrushed everything to where I can't use it. So it is, you have to really like judge if it's going to be a photographer that's worth your time. And as long as you like the team. I've got a fan right next to me and it's blowing my hair everywhere. But that I feel like is a good setup, just getting a good team together.
Definitely. Are there like specific kind of photographers and makeup artists or stylists that you like working with? Like, have you had people that you definitely work with again?
Yes, there is. There's a few like really good photographers in London. Like not even a few. There's loads of good photographers in London. I've worked a lot with I don't know if you know GG Photography.
Yes,
I've worked with her a few times, and she's so lovely, and she's so cool. We've shot together a few times, and I'm trying to think on my top of my head. There's been a lot of good photographers. Rankin was a really good big one in London. We shot this bridal commercial together.
Wow.
And that was fun. Makeup artists. I'd love to shoot with. I know her name. I shot with her once. What was her name? You know her?
Is it Nikki Makeup?
I know you know her. Yeah, there we go. I shot with her once.
Off the top of my head, I
knew you would know. I was like, I know you know. I've shot with her once, and she is amazingly
I
talented.
watched them and like I aspire to be like her. Like she is
literally a stroke of a brush. Like she didn't, you know how sometimes you have to like recreate lines and like redo it and like shape it slowly. She would literally just do one solid stroke. She was really talented.
And like she's just had a baby as well, and like she's juggling like new motherhood.
Oh my god.
And like, you know, she's a makeup artist, and like, do you know, I really aspire to be like that, because she's a family person but also such a workaholic. So I mean, like 100%. You know yourself, like you're a workaholic, you work full time, and having that kind of aspect in your life, it's just so busy. Like it's constant modeling and constant jobs. So I bet it's really hard to put yourself in like self-care aside. Do you have like a day where you would try and get off, like a Sunday, or would you just kind of literally every week it's different?
Every week is different. As long as you kind of dedicate some time to yourself, I feel like everyone needs that. Like anything small. It could be just doing yoga or doing an exercise class or reading or even just watching TV or just doing something that you love. I feel like that's important. Even taking a nice bath and putting some candles on and just listening to a podcast. I feel like those are all like important things to do.
Definitely.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing as much as you can in that.
But in terms of all of that, I think we've got some great content to use. David was very pleased.
Good.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining today. And like,
thank you.
It's lovely to like virtually meet you, obviously over Zoom.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it'd be lovely to catch up with you when you're in London, if you're around at any time.
I'd love to.
But yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
I'm sorry for all the weird.
Oh, don't be silly.
Hang up and everything.
You know, it's character interview. I mean, you've got a lovely backdrop. It's shining. It's brilliant. Don't worry.